Hey, friends. Andy Kennedy here, going live again. I just tried to go live and lost my internet. So I'm back. If you saw a little snippet of the first one, I just got back from the Bob Marley One Love movie, and I'm feeling the love for Jamaica, for Bob, for reggae. One love, and great topic to talk about after that. It put me in the right mood for that, partially because Bob lived his life by really focusing on very, very vigilant health. Sadly, of course, he died of cancer. But before that, the slow food movement, I think, would have been something that Bob got behind. And so I'm going to talk about toxic truths. This is 60 days of toxic truths. If you haven't been here yet, this is day 13 of 60. And we're wrapping up our first 2 weeks on nutrition. And today I want to talk about the toxic truth is fast food, which we've talked about a few times. Whether we've talked about preservatives and how fast food is going to live on your shelf for 2, 3, 4 years without making a complete difference at all. And versus the slow food movement. So I want to talk a little bit about that, because what a great movement that is. It started in Italy at the feet of the Spanish steps in Rome, where there was a movement to put a McDonald's. And the locals rallied, revolted, and said, "We don't want fast food. We want slow food." So that's where the name of the movement came from. The definition itself of slow food is food that's produced or prepared in accordance with local culinary traditions, typically using high quality, locally sourced ingredients. And what I love about the slow food movement really is that focus on good, clean, nourishing food that's full of flavor. Where food production is not harmful to the environment or the local eco village that's nearby, whether that's animals or humans. And the prices, of course, are fair for consumers and for the growers themselves. So it's basically the movement that's in contrast with big ag, right? And it's this is the line that I love the best, that it aims to focus on that cyclical version of local ag, local food consumption that corresponds with our local seasons. Because if you're eating locally, you are likely going to be eating within the seasons, because you're eating what our local growers are growing, and they can only do that based on the local seasons. There is a controversy there. Like, of course, everything has its fair share of critics, right? But the feasibility of a local food movement like that, can we sustain that with industrial farming? That our local food connections and our local food, what's growing in your area right now, is that sustainable? Can that sustain the local population? In a lot of places it can't. And so there's another toxic truth, right? That, yeah, it would be great for everybody to eat slow food that's grown in that nice slow process of local, and with the local light and the seasons and local efforts, right? Will that whole concept sustain us? And that's a good topic to have, because of course it's not going to, with the current state of how we eat food and grow food, right? So we need to be all growing our own food. That's how that's going to work. That's how the slow food movement is going to survive and thrive, is by us actually getting our hands dirty and growing our own food. So I wanted to talk a little bit too about eating seasonally. And when we eat local, of course, the slow food movement is local food. So we're eating seasonally, and the physical system, our physical bodies, as well as our emotional bodies, are all tied to the cyclical cycles of the seasons. We wane and ebb with the energy of the moon. We wane and ebb with the energy of the seasons. When you crave fresh food, greens and local food in the summertime, it's typically salads and berries and the things that are grown locally, versus what do we crave in the winter? We crave comfort food and heavy root vegetable food, grains too. One, to help us pack on a little extra weight, which is okay to do in the wintertime, because it keeps you warm. And then in the summer, we're moving all the time. We're We're outdoors all the time. The days are longer, so we exert more energy throughout the day. So we can eat more if it's fresh, local, vine ripe food of your area. So um, regenerative agriculture, that word is always hard for me to say, but regenerative agriculture is grown with or timed with, and biodynamic agriculture as well, both of these two terms are timed with the season, timed with the moon, the sun, the astrological changes, which our ancestors totally farmed by. And when we got away from that with big agriculture, there's a huge disconnect energetically with our food. And so, of course, that affects us too. And that is a little toxic truth for you there as well. So, shop local, shop at your farmer's market, grow your own food. Don't drive through the fast food line, and think about eating seasonally and growing food even in the wintertime and what that looks like. So that's our toxic truth of today. If you haven't seen the movie One Love, go see it. It was amazing. The music, of course, is amazing. The message is amazing. And I absolutely loved it. So I hope that you do too if you go see it. And if you haven't ever, look and see if there's a slow food movement in your area. There is in Knoxville. So if you're watching this in Tennessee and you want to pick that up and support that movement, please do. It's a great movement to support your local agriculture, of course. All right. Thanks for watching. As always, you can catch more resources in our Facebook group. So check that out, Facebook group. The link is below as well, as always. And join us to get some more resources on the slow food movement. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a happy Saturday.